RYUC After Action Report Essential. Our body as the vehicle for the experience. This recording is part of a series of recordings reporting on an exploration into our creativity, collectively entitled Releasing Your Unlimited Creativity After Action Report, abbreviated RYUC-AAR. This particular recording addresses the creativity essential. Our body is the vehicle for the experience the creative essence of creation seeks to experience through us. Background on the creativity essentials and the RYUC material. The creativity essentials are concepts, principles, ideas, or whatever one may wish to call them, related to the source out of which our creativity arises. The journey of exploration into our creativity revealed the essentials needed to be addressed and understood in some way by an individual if one desired to move as deep as possible into their own creativity, creative ability, and creative power in this incarnation. Otherwise, one would be placing self-imposed limits on their creativity. Essentials are not building blocks or fundamental items used to create something. Rather, the essentials are about the stuff out of which the building blocks and foundational items arise. It is suggested you ponder, contemplate, do your own experiments with the creativity essentials such that you know their truth for yourself. Here I wish to bring to your attention we each have a very unique perspective of creation. What I say and write about on the topic of creativity with its relationship with the creative essence of creation are my comments based on my observation and experience from the journey of exploration into our creativity. If what I say resonates with you, use it. Otherwise, it's recommended you do your own contemplation, experiments, and exploration into the variety of topics discussed here to see which true for yourself. Background on our body as the vehicle for experience. It is said in the single most important observation and experience summarized from the journey of exploration of our creativity that the creative essence of creation, the stuff out of which creation arises, seeks to experience its creation through us, and the energy within us giving rise to our life and sustaining us is a unique expression of the creative essence of creation, and our body is the vehicle this creative essence chose to create, to use for the experience it desires to have. As such, our body has a purpose, and it is an integral part of what the creative essence desires to experience. It is designed to carry us through the experiences the creative essence of creation desired and designed to have. Our awareness has been invited to participate in the experience. This gives rise to the need to understand the role of our body and what is available to us through the body consciousness, and the body wisdom for the journey we have been invited to experience. As part of our creative power and creative ability, it is important for each of us to become intimately aware of what our body can provide, and there is the need for us to understand how to maintain the body to function properly, to be available for what the creative essence of creation desires to experience. In learning what our body can and can't do, how it does or doesn't respond to what it experiences, and what experience it does or doesn't give us, we will learn more about the creative essence that chose our unique body as a vehicle. From the creativity perspective and the observations in the journey of exploration of our creativity, is that relative to our creativity, our body is underrated, undervalued, and inadequately understood. The body is overlooked and not seen for what it is and what it offers. Radical as it may seem, our body is not merely, quote, ours. We do not own our body. Our body can function without our awareness thinking and telling our body what to do. Think of how our body functions and does all that it does with little or no attention on our part. It is the vehicle the creative essence chose for its human experience. Our body is not just flesh and bone. It is the chosen vehicle for this energy. Encoded in our body through energy, memory, and sensation is information about what we are here to do. By learning to listen to our body and its wisdom, especially through feeling it what makes us feel alive, we can begin to align more closely with the flow of our creative life energy. The more we learn and listen to our body, the more we start aligning with what gives us life. What gives us life to our body makes us feel alive. We are, however, asked to maintain our body based on what we have come to understand and how our body operates and what our body needs to function for the time and place of our incarnation. We need to realize the mind and the body are ultimately one and integrally connected. The human mind arises from the experiences the body has, and the body holds memories of all those experiences. All the information contained in those memories are accessible to us. We need to remember our body goes everywhere with us. The flow of the creative life energy sustaining us asks us to look at what we are feeling. But to feel, we need to be open to feeling. We need to ask, what am I sensing? What is being asked? And we look to see what response we get. Knowing the body is the chosen vehicle for our experiences, the body has a great influence in accessing the depth and breadth of our creativity. The question is, what is the role and function of our body in the realm of one's personal creativity? Whether one realizes it or not, as stated above, there is a body wisdom. There are body memories. The body is a connection to ancestral pattern. The body can sense energy, and there is a mind-body connection. All these aspects of the body can influence our creativity in ways most do not realize. In many cases, these aspects of the body can be dismissed, and many do. However, if one really wants to access the depth and breadth of their creativity, they will need to be aware of these aspects of the body and often need to learn how to use them. The journey of exploration into our creativity suggests there are 4 generic ways our body can be seen as a vehicle for experience, and one way unique to who we are. One way is our body as a vehicle for the exploration of physical creation, much like a car, truck, a plane, or whatever. A second way is the body as a vehicle as an experience of a creation, namely the exploration of the body itself. The third way is as a creative endeavor or creative experience in how we create the body through the mind-body connection. A fourth way is using the body as a creative tool. The fifth way to experience the body is a combination of the 4 generic ways, but in a way that is unique for us to express our unique subjective perception of creation and utilize the uniqueness of our body to fulfill the role we incarnated to experience. Our body existed before our human mind. One needs to remember our body came into existence before our human mind developed. Our body carries memories of everywhere we have been, including back into the embryo from which we arose. These memories are available to us with the proper focus of our attention and awareness. Additionally, it is suggested that we carry energetic ancestral memories that go beyond what we carry in our genes. These memories are also available to us. However, often the ancestral memories as individual memories are not needed, but if they are needed, they will surface and we will need to address them as they arise. I personally have found such memories arise in my own life, and I did address them as they arose. I personally found such memories arise in my own life, and I did not have to go out of my way to address them. They arose naturally in context of what I was being asked to experience and only needed to be addressed as they arose, even if the memories appeared to be a little bit bizarre. What is important here to note is the reason for our incarnation and what brought us into physical form existed before our mind developed. The reason for our incarnation is accessible through what the body feels, and it will take some time for the mind to figure out what life experiences provide the feeling most in alignment with what we incarnated to experience. The body as a vehicle for the exploration of physical creation. One perspective as a vehicle for exploration is our body as a vehicle much like a car, a truck, a bulldozer, an airplane, or any of the other myriad of vehicles from which we could choose, and all the different styles and options available to us that we use to transport us from one location to another. The choice of vehicle has a great bearing on the type of experience that we can have. We can see the body as a vehicle that can take us from place to place, which allows us to experience physical creation. It carries us from one city to another, from one country to another, one location on the globe to another location on the globe. And of course, in this travel, our body then allows us to have an experience of creation in any of the locations to which we are carried. An intimate understanding of the body as to its abilities and talents will tell us much about the nature of the job, what we are to do, or the intention we carry. To gain an intimate understanding of the body, we will have to become the detached witness of the body and look to see the true origins of the sensation we have and what we feel. The body is an experience of creation, namely an experience of the body itself. Part of the physical experience is we are here to experience the body as a creation unto itself. That is, the body is to be experienced. The body is a creative living process, constantly changing with all its changes and associated perception, preferences, pains, and pleasures. The condition of the body is calling us into an experience of creation. The body ever changing with its hunger, its tiredness, its anger, its frustrations, its fears, how it responds to what it consumes as food or drink, its vulnerabilities, and all the other humanities that are experienced through the body as a result of the body. The condition of our body is calling us into an experience of creation. The body is ever changing with its hunger, its tiredness, its anger, its frustration, its fears, how it responds to what it consumes as food or drink, its vulnerabilities, and all the other humanness that is experienced through the body and as a result of the body. The body is a vehicle to both experience creation from within the body and what the body feels like, and how the body affects us and what the body causes us to experience in life and what it is capable of allowing us to do in life. A body with a defect of any type will cause life to be experienced differently than one without the defects. Similarly, birthmarks that cause one to look somewhat differently than other people, or a disfigurement of any part of the body, causes everyone else to respond differently than they would respond to a person who looks what would be called normal. So the body makes a big impact on the people we meet in life and how we approach life because of the impact we make on those people as a result of our body. But in focusing on the body, it became clear that the body itself is the experience and an experience of physical creation. The body is constantly changing. It is a creative living process recreating itself continuously. We have been given the opportunity to experience the body as this living creation. We will have pains, we will have pleasures, we will have feelings that arise in the body. We will have different experiences in the body depending on the foods we eat and the substances we take into the body. Similarly, how we choose to move the body and what we allow it to experience, as in the variety of physical experiences available in the rides in an amusement park, are all body experiences. All of these, the pains, the pleasures, the feelings, are all experiences of physical creation. In fact, some individuals may be here in physical creation only to experience their body, and all that they experience in life is secondary to the experience of the body. Experiencing the body as a fellow traveler. An interesting perspective is to experience the body as a fellow traveler. Our body goes everywhere we go and responds in some way to every experience we have. All the experiences we have had in life are felt in the body, and the body forms itself in response to those experiences. The mind of our body and its memories reflect the experiences the body has had in our current life. We are not normally aware of this process. However, if we wear a new pair of shoes which are a little too tight, we will form a redness where the shoe rubs, if not create a blister. This is not just our body forming itself in response to the experiences we have. We get to experience how it responds to the environment of those shoes. What is important to understand here is our body does this in some way for every experience we have. Our body will hold and store memories as does the mind. That is, there are body memories just as powerful as the memories of our mind. Our body has a consciousness unto itself if we pay attention to the body. This body consciousness from the body has a wisdom unto itself. Pain is a communication if we learn to pay attention. The consciousness of the body is part of our current mind, but reflected in aspects of our non-conscious mind. We just need to understand this portion of the non-conscious mind has a unique perspective. It can and will function on its own in the correct conditions. If we properly focus our attention and awareness, we can learn to discern what arises from our conscious mind from our unique perspective of the body. The unique perspective is what gives rise to our body wisdom. This unique perspective is what gives rise to our body wisdom. As with mental memories, body memories tend to surface in context, so we can expect that our body wisdom will be sharper depending upon the context of the situation we face. The body as a creative endeavor or a creative experience. A creative endeavor is about bringing something into existence and creating conditions of illness or health through the mind-body connection is a creative endeavor. The body is obviously a vehicle that carries us from experience to experience of life, but we fail to see the body itself offers us an incredible experience of a creative endeavor and how we create the body through the mind-body connection. We often run into conditions that we call illness, and we are of the opinion we have to heal the illness to bring the body back to a condition of health based upon a common agreement of what health is. At the risk of saying all generalities are false, it appears there is a general agreement as to what health looks like. There are obviously arguments as to what is considered an extremely healthy person, but there is general agreement of what basic health looks like. If we look at the medical profession, they will provide a normal distribution of different populations of different human characteristics that show us where the normal human health condition usually lies. Obviously, there are outliers, but in general, everybody lies within some type of normal distribution for a given human characteristic. In having been involved with the medical community in several different ways, and based upon the study of creativity, there seems to be two primary illnesses that we can face. One illness is an illness that we have that is part of our life path. We have the illness for certain experiences that the illness will give us. The work of Jill Bolte Taylor in her book and TED Talk on the topic of her stroke is one such example. Jill, being a brain scientist, reported having a stroke in the left side of her brain. During her stroke, she was able to observe the stroke from inside the body as it was being experienced. It was an experience she could not have unless she had the stroke. It was after her experience of the stroke she realized that some of the illnesses we have as a result of illness, injury, or accidents are experiences which can only be had because of the illness, accident, or disease. In this regard, there are illnesses that we can have relative to our life path that we have for what the experience offers us. Why we would need to want such an experience is another question. The other type of illness is where we simply just do not finance health. For whatever reason, we don't pay attention to the conditions that could give rise to accident, illness, or disease. In regards to any accident, illness, or disease, whether it is part of our life path or just the result of something where we have failed to finance health, accident, illness, and disease causes us to explore different facets of our body and the experience of our body can have as a result of that accident, illness, and disease. The accident, illness, or disease opens the door to explore different paths of healing and opens the door to more experiences than what we would otherwise not have if we didn't have the illness, accident, or disease. Additionally, and more importantly, often illness, accident, and disease causes us to move in a new direction of life. Alternatively, it could be said that the illness allows us to have certain experiences that are related to what the creative essence of creation is experiencing through us. It can be said it's not a matter of healing as such, but experiencing the illness and experiencing what the creative essence of creation desires to experience through us. In some ways, it's a little difficult to accept that the creative essence of creation has allowed illnesses to be in our body because of the experience it desires to have, but some things are well beyond our understanding, and in this regard, accident, illnesses, and diseases. Observation of the interaction of our creativity and the body-mind connection suggests we are a flow of energy arising from the stuff which gave rise to creation itself. Through our free will, we will have the possibility of diverting our creative life energy into creating conditions our human mind thinks as more favorable to us but a non-alignment with the desires of the creative essence of creation flowing through us. Whenever the energy flowing through us is not significantly allowed to flow in accordance with the creative essence of creation would like to experience, we, through our free will have the possibility of diverting the energy into creating conditions of accident, illness, and disease. It is important to be aware of the flow of our creative life energy and be in alignment with the flow and seek to follow it the best we can. Here it is suggested one calibrate their internal compass and learn to navigate from their heart, realizing, of course, it will take some time for the mind to figure out what life experiences provide the feelings most in alignment with what we incarnated to experience. The body as a creative tool. The flow of energy within our being, giving rise to our body, is a creative living process. It is a process because it is always changing, both as a result of the creative life energy flowing into and out of our body and the experiences the energy creates as it flows through the body. We respond to the world as a result of the choices and desires that we do or do not make in response to our environment and the experiences we are having in the environment in which we find ourselves. The body is a process that is dynamic and can shift moment to moment. We have much greater say in how we and our body changes than we first imagine, and we use this power non-consciously all the time. The task is to make conscious the creative power and creative ability that we already possess and use it to create experiences that serve us. In response to this ever-changing process, a fourth perspective of the body as a vehicle of experience is to see it as a creative tool. We can teach it to play music, paint, sculpture, perform medical operations, build bridges, and a variety of other tasks humans perform with the body. 4 ways are presented as to ways to see the body as a tool for our creativity. They are the body as an energy detector, the creative tool of the body awareness, body wisdom, and body consciousness, as a lie detector, and the body as a communication tool. The body as an energy detector. Here it needs to be noted, the body is both an energy detector and receives energy, but it also radiates energy. Depending on how we change what we think and believe, we will perceive different energies and we will radiate different energy. Additionally, here it can be seen, observation has revealed that all communication is energy-based. All flows of energy carry information, and if nothing else, the flow of energy can be traced back to where it originated and can tell us something about its source. With the proper antenna or receiver, or their equivalent, and the proper converting device, the information carried by the energy can be understood. Probably everybody is familiar with radio waves and tuning a receiver to pick up a particular station's broadcast to hear music or some type of programming. As a human, we are sensitive to the energy we sense. The human mind and its creative imagination is the equivalent of that radio receiver. It can be tuned and extract the information in that energy we sensed within our being and translate that energy into thoughts, images, and the like. Here it can be noted, it can be said that the information within the flow, each flow of energy is a form of consciousness. In our mind, perceiving a communication from some being or entity of which we are not familiar is actually our mind is receiving an energy transmission. In our mind, perceiving a communication from some being or entity of which we are not familiar, in actuality, our body and being is receiving an energy transmission. But the mind normally sees communication occurring between individuals or entities and not as energy transmissions. Of course, there are those that routinely talk about having received a download of information, which is nothing more than an energy transmission to which one is receptive. But more importantly, one can begin to see how our bodies are an antenna capable of sensing the deep undercurrents of creation depending on how we choose to focus ourselves. We also know there are many different types and kinds of energy which permeate us and our world that we never consciously perceive unless we have the correct instrumentation. One aspect of the body as an energy detector is that our mind does not necessarily create the thoughts we have, as many of us think we do. Rather, mind gives rise to thoughts in the way a fertile field gives rise to the plants depending on the seed that takes root. The same field can grow grass, bushes, or trees, and entirely depends upon the seeds which fall on the ground. The energy that is sensed by the body is like the seed that falls on the fertile ground. The thought is what germinates and grows in the field as a result of the seed. Sufficiently change the environment, different seeds will grow. Also, if the conditions are not correct, a seed may grow but never bear fruit. If we become mindful and aware of our thoughts, we can begin to see how we can change what we think and believe, our environment, our posture, and the like, to influence the thoughts we have. Creative tools of body awareness, body wisdom, and body consciousness. There is a powerful awareness and a profound wisdom and an understanding about who and what we are, our birthright as a creator, what we incarnated to do, about the nature of creation and ourselves, the creative essence of creation, and the source of creation locked within our body. Awakening to the body awareness and body wisdom can and will lead us to the truth of our being. We awaken body awareness and body wisdom through awareness of what we feel. It is accessible only through the depth of our feeling when we are open to feel the very depth of our being simultaneously at each and every level of our being, spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical. In the awareness of the flow of energy that arises from the depth of our being, simultaneously permeating each and every level of our being, there lies a doorway. It is a doorway to all that humanity has ever sought. This awareness and understanding is accessible through feelings because, whether we realize it or not, our creative power is accessed and arising in feeling. It is the flow of creative life energy that gives rise to creation and what sustains us. Without some passion, some flow of energy for what we desire to create, nothing happens. It is our feelings for and against things in life that pulls and pushes us one way or another. The body awareness appears to exist inside and behind what we feel. In focusing on what we feel and setting the intention to access what gives rise to what we feel, we will access and find what we seek. We will know what is giving rise to what we feel. In knowing what gives rise to what we feel, we can begin to see through time and space, for we are capable of doing so. The first issue we face is whether or not this feeling at the very depth of our being is judged by mind as painful or pleasurable. To access this awareness, wisdom, and understanding, one must walk through the doorway. But to walk through the doorway, it is uncertain what we will find: pleasure, pain, or the awareness and wisdom. The answer is that it is simultaneously both. The feelings we sense is beyond mind and beyond the duality which mind creates. Hence our first real dilemma. How can we create the conditions such that we can be in this feeling and not have it turn into pleasure or pain? If it is painful, we will run away. If it's pleasurable, we will become addicted to the pleasure and miss the awareness and wisdom. The key is to learn to become aware of our body and aware of what we feel and sense. We each are unique, and awakening to the body awareness and body consciousness is a solo journey. We can listen to others, but we will need to digest and eat all that we're told and do our own experiments to see what works for us and resonates with our truth and is effective in our life. The body as a lie detector. The body can be seen as a lie detector to determine what is true for ourselves and serves and does not serve us and our uniqueness and our unique perception of creation. There is a simple exercise that can be performed to understand this aspect of our body. Listen or read the following words carefully and allow yourself to follow and do what is said. Think of some object or thing, a personal experience, a person, an activity, or whatever you wish to choose that has great and unparalleled beauty and joy for you. You are free to choose whatever you wish. You can be at any time and any place at any age. The place can be real or imaginary. Just think of some object, thing, or personal experience that gives you unparalleled beauty and joy. Allow yourself to feel the experience. Pay attention to what feelings arise in you as you recall the experience. Allow yourself to sit and feel the experience for a few moments. As you experience this object of focus that gives you this great beauty and joy, notice the feelings you have. Allow yourself to be with what you feel and allow the feelings to permeate all of your being. Pay attention to how you would describe what you feel or recognize what you feel at some future time. Pay attention as to how you would describe what you feel and or recognize what you feel at some future time. Take a moment to describe the experience and what part of your body are feeling the experience. Feel the beauty and joy of this experience. Tell yourself you will always remember what these feelings of great beauty and joy feel like, and you will recognize them in the future. Allow yourself to feel the beauty and joy this object of your focus gives you. Allow yourself to be present to this beauty. Now tell yourself all that you just felt and experienced is a lie and totally untrue because you hate whatever it is you said gives you great bliss and joy. Tell yourself you hate the object of focus. Tell yourself all that you experience is a fabrication and a lie. Tell yourself you have been deceived and the beauty and joy is not found in the object of your focus. Allow yourself some time to feel the lie and allow a few moments to be with the feeling. Notice how you respond to this revelation about what you cherished and how and what you feel. Pay attention to how the feelings have changed. This simple exercise provides the basic difference between something that is true for us and will resonate with our truth versus something that is not true for us and maybe even a lie. In allowing ourselves to feel what we see, hear, touch, and read, pay attention to what we feel and pay attention if what we are feeling goes in the direction of what is true for us or not true for us. Body as a communication tool. We need to understand all communication is energy-based, and any flow of energy carries information if we know how to access and extract the information. So too the creative life energy flowing within us, sustaining our life and giving rise to our creative living process within our being, which is constantly changing and recreating our body each moment. This gives rise to 3 questions. One question is, in each moment, are we repeating the past in a new way or allowing ourselves to step into the unknown of a new, original, never-before-experienced creation? The second question is, are we creating health or illness in each moment? The third question is, how do we extract the information carried by our own creative life energy to understand what is being asked of us? We access the energy through feeling and how the body responds to the flow of energy we feel. We can tune ourselves to the body and increase our sensitivity to our body by how we focus our attention and awareness and what we choose to believe. In being focused on what we are feeling, we can ask our questions as to what is being asked of us and what direction we should go to choose to. In being focused on what we are feeling, we can ask our questions as to what is being asked of us and what direction we should choose to travel. However, asking questions regarding the flow of our creative life energy leads us to the limitations of the human mind. We will receive some type of communication. Most would call it an intuitive insight, a dream, a vision, an insight, or something similar. Our mind will provide an interpretation and an answer to our question based upon mind's past experiences and within the limitations of our mind. So we may not get the interpretation exactly correct. As such, we need to be open to the possibility for mind's initial interpretation and its limitations and biases may be incorrect. We also may need additional experiences to fully understand the answer we get. But we can iterate the process and routinely check the flow and how our mind is interpreting the direction we need to travel. Here again, the direction of travel is in the direction of the feelings, which align with that feeling that we are being served and we are moving in alignment with our truth for what we incarnated to do. Our unique experience of creation. As discussed, there are a variety of ways the creative essence of creation can experience its creation, utilizing our body as a vehicle that it has chosen for the experience. In addition to experience some combination of the 4 generic ways discussed that our body can be used for an experience, there is also the unique aspects of our body and the specific attributes and abilities our body has to provide for a specific set of experiences the creative essence of creation desires to experience. These uniquenesses address the way for us to experience our unique subjective perception of creation and fulfill the role we incarnated to experience. These personal specific uniquenesses bring up things like ancestry influences, whether genetically or energetically, the location and environment of our body, then of course whether our body is male or female, and any specific talents not normally carried by most individuals. In any case, our body is a unique vehicle. The question is, what is possible in the body and through our body? Our body is the perfect vehicle for our physical experience. Our body and its environment is our truth manifested. The mind-body effect leads to we are creators of our experiences. Summarizing, dealing with the body, being the vehicle the creative essence of creation chose to have for the experience it desires to have, brings us to the realization there is information in the body. How our body is designed to respond to both the energy within and the external energy from without, which impinges on our body in some way, is related to the experience the creative essence of creation desires to have. We need to recognize the body's preferences are calling us to the experiences for which the body is designed to have.